Good morning. Today's video we're talking about continuing on with communication and specifically sales. So let me just first start off with, I think we're all in sales. No matter what you do in this life, we're all in sales. Sales is simply influence or promoting yourself. So for example, we all selling to our friends when we decide which movie to go to or which restaurant we should eat at. We're selling to a potential friend. We're selling ourselves. So we're selling ourselves to a potential prospect for a life partner. Then you may have to sell yourself to the family. You are selling yourself to a potential job or interview or a position. Life is sales. Life is communication. Some people have a poor perspective or a poor outlook on sales. So let me qualify this by saying that I believe sales is creating a win-win situation, not a win-lose. Win-lose situation is not good. Let me qualify it also by saying that a salesperson should be honest. They're truly looking to, otherwise if they're not honest and they're not looking for a win-win situation, they're a con man, not a salesperson. So let me just qualify it with that. So with sales, there's a specific pattern that you can pretty much link to just about anything, and 4 or 5 stages to go through. The first one is to build rapport. If you're going to convince someone, if you're going to sell someone something, if you're going to lead someone somewhere, if you're going to create influence with someone, they have to trust you and they have to like you, and we call that rapport. So if you don't have rapport with someone, trust and likability, then you're not going to sell them anything. So that's the first thing you need to create, and that's generally by finding something in common, being able to strike up a friendly conversation. The key there is you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and generally you want to use them in that ratio. Become a good listener, become a good questioner, and be genuinely interested in the other person. I find fascination is good. If I haven't got anything much in common with the person, I can still be fascinated by them. I can be fascinated by the person that lives in housing commission in a crappy house, even though I don't want it. Although it's much easier for me to find something in common with someone that is like-minded or does or has the same things that I have, or I can be truly interested in how someone has gotten to a position in life that's got the things that I'm moving towards. So it's really about finding a connection, finding something in common, or having a genuine interest in people. That's rapport. The next thing, if you're going to sell something to somebody, no matter what it is, you've got to find what needs they have. What is it that they need that your product or service or person or you are going to be able to fill? If someone has no need and then you sell them something, then we're looking back at that potential con man thing. So now they might not realize that they need it or want it. I might not realize that I want to go to a really cool restaurant because I haven't been there before. So a few different things to look at there. But really want to find the needs and drill down once you do find the needs until you find an emotional need or emotional reason why. Find out why that's their number 1 priority. Work out what makes them choose that one. Find out why it's important to them. Find out as much about it as you possibly can and get as specific as you can on what the needs are. And then we want to then move into, I guess, the benefits. So the benefits are simply following, going on from the needs, and then being able to link the benefits that your product or service, or you individually, how you can fill their needs through your benefits. So if it's a job position, they need someone that can do XYZ. If you can do XYZ, then you need to be able to link the two together. And at any stage, if you can't do the step, you can't move on to the next. Like if I can't find someone's needs, I'm not going to go on to their benefits. If I can find their needs, but I can't see how my product or service can fill my product's benefits, can't fill their needs, then I'm not going to make a sale. I can't move on. And then we shouldn't move on, definitely shouldn't move on to cost or price until we've been able to fulfill the needs that they have with the benefits that we can provide. Therefore, unless they've made a decision that they need the product or service that we are promoting, then we're not going to be able to move on, and we shouldn't move on to the next thing, which is cost. Okay, so cost or price is something that only comes into the conversation once we have determined that we fulfill the wants, needs and desires. And then finally, we need to ask them we need to close. We need to ask them for the sale. And this is where so many salespeople fall down. They don't close, and probably because, I guess, well, look, let's look at kids. Kids are probably the best salespeople. If they want an ice cream, or they want a toy or something, or whatever it is they want, they just keep going and going and going and going and going and going. But then as adults, after a while of hearing no, we end up running away with our tail between our legs. We're conditioned. We have an emotional response that is unproductive, negative. We see failure, blah 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 blah. We basically are soft. So now, if you've done the preceding steps and you've found out what they like you, they trust you, you found out what their needs are, you've been able to demonstrate how your product or service will fulfill their needs with the benefits that you can provide. If you've done that well, closing should be easy. Okay, closing is simply asking them to buy your product or service. So, and if they say no, then you just see it as an opportunity to give them some more information. Okay, and done in a proper manner, not in a pushy or you do it by asking questions. You do it by communicating well, and that's really the key for sales. If you're going to become a good salesperson, okay, especially if you want to make a career out of sales, or if you want to have great relationships, or if you want to be able to promote yourself well, or if you're in a leadership position, then you're going to have to master your communication. Master it, not just be okay at it, but study it, develop it, find better ways of saying things. Okay, so that's my ideas on sales, and why it's beneficial for all of us, and why everyone should develop it. In my opinion, it's the best way to improve your communication skills. I've seen people come in to sales roles that I've had over the years with poor communication skills, and leave with incredible changes and increases and benefits to them and the people that they live with and people in their lives. So I love sales. Hope you get some benefit from the video there today, and I'll see you soon.